In a dramatic turn of events, a fire broke out on the nuclear-powered Russian cargo ship, the Sevmorput, on Sunday, December 24, 2023. The day had started like any other. The ship, a relic from the Soviet era, was docked in the port city of Murmansk, nestled in the northernmost reaches of Russia, its crew going about their daily tasks, blissfully unaware of the impending danger. The Sevmorput is no ordinary ship. It's a cargo icebreaker, a behemoth designed to carve its way through the frozen seas, its nuclear power source propelling it through the icy wilderness. The strength and resilience of this ship, however, also posed a potential risk. A fire on board a nuclear-powered vessel is a cause for concern, to say the least. The fire was first detected in one of the cabins. It's unclear how it started, but what is clear is the immediate response from the crew. The alarm bells rang out, slicing through the icy air of Murmansk, signaling an emergency on board. This was not a drill. The crew, trained for such incidents, sprang into action. Their routine day was shattered, replaced with a race against time to contain the fire. They understood the gravity of the situation. Their ship, the mighty Sevmorput, was not just a cargo icebreaker. It was a nuclear-powered vessel, and a fire on board could spell disaster. As the alarm bells rang, the crew raced to contain the fire, their urgency underlined by the ship's nuclear power source. With the blaze rapidly spreading, the crew of the Sevmorput faced a daunting task, containing the fire before it could reach the nuclear reactor. The battle against the flames was no small feat. Imagine a situation where every second counts and the stakes are as high as they can get. This was the reality aboard the Sevmorput that fateful Sunday. The fire had broken out in one of the cabins, and the ship's design, built in the Soviet era, made containment challenging. The narrow corridors and compact spaces only served to quicken the spread of the fire, turning the ship into a ticking time bomb. The crew members, however, were not alone in this battle. Upon hearing the distress call, local fire services in Murmansk, the northern Russian city where the ship was docked, leapt into action. Coordination between the ship's crew and the local fire services was critical. The ship's crew knew the layout of the vessel, while the fire services brought with them the expertise and equipment necessary to combat the blaze. It was a partnership born out of necessity, and it was this joint effort that would prove pivotal in the fight against the flames. But what truly stood out amidst this chaos was the bravery and determination of those involved. Faced with a situation that could potentially lead to a nuclear disaster, the crew and the fire services did not falter. They understood the enormity of the situation, yet they held their ground, fighting the fire with everything they had. Every decision made, every action taken was driven by a singular purpose: to contain the fire and prevent it from reaching the nuclear reactor. It was a battle against time, a battle against an invisible enemy, a battle that tested the limits of human endurance and courage. Against the odds, the crew and local fire services worked tirelessly, battling the growing inferno in a race against time. Their effort, their courage, and their determination made it possible to prevent what could have been a devastating disaster. Once the fire was finally extinguished, the real work began, assessing the damage and investigating the cause. The aftermath of the fire was a sight to behold. The Sevmorput, once a proud testament to Soviet-era maritime prowess, now bore the scars of the fire that had ravaged through one of its cabins. The ship, currently docked in the northern Russian city of Murmansk, was a scene of chaos and destruction. The blaze had left a trail of devastation in its wake. The cabin where the fire had originated was now a charred shell, its interior unrecognizable. The extent of the damage was severe, but thankfully the ship's nuclear reactor had remained intact, avoiding a far more catastrophic outcome. But the damage was not only physical. There was a psychological toll as well. The crew, who had battled the flames bravely, were in shock. The incident had brought home the ever-present danger that comes with working on a nuclear-powered vessel. Now, the question on everyone's mind was, what caused the fire? The investigation was set into motion immediately. Investigators pored over the ship, sifting through the charred debris and interviewing the crew members. They were looking for any clue, any hint that could lead them to the cause of the fire. But there was an even bigger issue at hand. This incident had brought to the fore the potential implications of a fire on a nuclear-powered ship. It raised serious questions about the safety measures in place on such vessels. After all, the Sevmorput was not just any ship. It was a nuclear-powered icebreaker, a vessel designed to withstand the harshest of conditions. So, how could a fire break out on such a ship? And more importantly, what could be done to prevent such an incident in the future? As investigators sifted through the charred remains, questions arose about the cause of the fire and the safety procedures on nuclear-powered vessels. Only time and thorough investigation will reveal the answers, and hopefully lead to improved safety measures on all nuclear-powered vessels. The Sevmorput fire served as a stark reminder of the risks associated with nuclear-powered vessels and the need for stringent safety measures. The incident set a precedent, forcing us to re-evaluate the safety protocols in place and consider the future implications for nuclear-powered maritime travel. The lessons learned from this incident are numerous. Firstly, the importance of constant vigilance cannot be overstated. The fire broke out in a cabin, an area typically not associated with high-risk activities on a nuclear-powered ship. This underscores the fact that any part of a vessel can become a potential danger zone, and safety measures should not be confined to the nuclear reactor alone. Secondly, the incident highlighted the need for regular inspections and maintenance. The Sevmorput, a product of the Soviet era, had been in service for a considerable time. Aging infrastructure can often be overlooked, but it's essential to ensure that all components of the ship, from the reactor to the cabins, are in optimal condition to prevent such incidents. Thirdly, the crucial role of emergency response was made apparent. The quick and effective action by the crew and local authorities prevented a minor fire from escalating into a major disaster. It is imperative that all personnel aboard such vessels are adequately trained in emergency response, and that cooperation between ship crew and local authorities is seamless. Looking towards the future, this incident could serve as a catalyst for change. The maritime industry may see a shift towards more rigorous safety protocols, regular inspections, and enhanced emergency response training. Nuclear-powered ships, given their immense power and potential risks, demand a higher level of safety standards. Moreover, the incident could influence the design of future nuclear-powered vessels. Designers may consider incorporating additional safety features, such as advanced fire detection and suppression systems, and compartmentalization to contain incidents effectively. As the Sevmorput incident fades into history, its lessons will continue to shape the future of nuclear-powered maritime travel, reminding us of the constant vigilance required when harnessing the power of the atom.